Bold, smoky, and irresistibly spicy. Today we're making harissa paste, North Africa's ultimate flavor bomb. This spicy number ranks high on my list of favorite condiments, and you've seen me use it on so many recipes, from my Tunisian Fricassé to the flavor-packed Malfouf and that gorgeous baked basa and orzo. Once you've got a jar of homemade harissa in your fridge, you can turn anything into a showstopper. Let's make it from scratch, fresh, fiery, and full of personality. Hello and welcome Indulgers to Indulge with ET. To get started, we're going to grab our chilies and remove all those seeds. Today I'm using a very spicy chili known as lal mirch chilies. I picked these up from my local Indian grocery store, but I have listed other alternatives for you to try out depending on your own spice tolerance. Once my chilies are de-seeded, I'm going to give them a quick wash and then submerge them in hot water for 20 minutes and allow them to fully rehydrate. In the meantime, let's go ahead and toast our spices. Into my pan I have some caraway seeds, some coriander seeds, and of course cumin seeds. These are known as a North African trio. They're very commonly used in North African cuisine. Once the scent of those warm spices takes over your kitchen, you know you're good to remove your spices from the heat. Go ahead and grind them down into a somewhat coarse powder. You can also use a spice grinder for this, but I love any opportunity to use my mortar and pestle. Do you taste the difference when you grind your spices manually? Personally, I'm on the manual camp. I'm fairly convinced that the slow process does something different to the spices. Let me know where you stand in the comments below. Once our chilies are done rehydrating, drain them completely using the aid of a spoon to remove any excess liquid. Allow your rehydrated chilies to air dry for a further 20 minutes before adding them into your food processor. Introduce those spices that we grounded earlier alongside some salt and olive oil. Add some cloves of garlic, which is going to be the final ingredient that really brings it all together. The salt and the olive oil do a great deal for the taste of your overall harissa paste, but more importantly, they also serve as preservatives. If stored correctly, you can enjoy this harissa for up to 3 months. Grind down your harissa paste until you achieve your desired consistency. I like to stop in between takes just to make sure that everything is moving as smoothly as possible. Once your harissa is ready, dish it into an airtight container and top it up with some olive oil. This will prevent any mold from developing on its surface. Glass containers are usually my first choice when it comes to storing homemade sauces and condiments. They generally store really well and are a breeze to clean. And there you have it, my homemade harissa paste. If you loved this recipe, don't stop here. Try it in my Tunisian fricassé or even the spicy harissa baked basa. You'll see just how versatile this paste can be. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and keep exploring flavor with me at indulgewithet.com. Until next time, from my kitchen to yours.